Hi, I'm Carrie Ann Knauer, and welcome to Carrie's Kitchen. This week I was looking for a special recipe that would highlight mushrooms because I grew some of my own mushrooms, and these happen to be oyster mushrooms, and I'm going to use them in a risotto. Risotto is an Italian rice dish, and it just has this great creamy texture, but without a lot of fat. Are you ready to cook? Okay, our first step is that I'm going to cut and harvest these mushrooms that I've grown from a kit. It was a gift from my brother, and I'm really excited about it. These are oyster mushrooms, and I haven't done this before. This only took 10 days. All I had to do was soak it in water and then mist it twice a day. I'm just going to gently saw these off. I'm going to try to leave the smaller ones there so they can keep growing. Now for this recipe, we want to have 2 cups of mushrooms. So I'm going to probably supplement these with some baby portobellos I bought at the store. All right, there we have it, 1 cup of these oyster mushrooms. Okay, so we're going to turn on the stove. I'm going to be using my French oven here, similar to a Dutch oven, but it's covered in porcelain. And I'm adding about 3 tablespoons of butter. Okay, and once the butter is melted, we're going to add the mushrooms. And I'm going to add the onion now as well. And this is half a cup of onion, diced very small. And you want to let these saute for about 5 minutes. Now while these are sauteing, you can preheat your broth, and I've got 6 cups of chicken broth that I've already started heating up. You just want to get it to a simmer point so that when you start adding it later on, it's already warm and it won't slow down the process of the cooking in the main pot. Okay, the onion's starting to turn translucent, so that means we're ready to add rice. Now I've pre-measured this. This is 1 3/4 cups of arborio rice, which is the special type used for risotto. I'm going to stir it. There's going to be a lot of stirring that goes on with risotto. But what you want to have happen is for the greens to look a little oily. You want them to get coated in the butter, which is going to slow the absorption of the broth when we add that later. You want to keep stirring it so it doesn't burn. And right when it feels like it's going to start sticking and burning, that's when you want to start adding your stock. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes. We're ready to add our first addition. There we go. Maybe a little bit more than that. Okay. So the key is you don't want to add more stock until each addition gets completely absorbed. And you want to keep cooking this at about medium-high. It'll help the process go faster. As long as you keep stirring, it's not going to stick or burn. All right, it's starting to stick, so I'm going to add the next addition. It's already starting to pick up some of that nice broth color, which is good because that's where the flavor is. Now, arborio rice is a special variety that's particularly used for risotto. It has a lot of excess starch, and by stirring it, you're getting that kind of outer starch off of the rice, and it's working its way into the broth to make the whole base creamier. A lot of people think that risotto is a really rich dish because it has cream in it, but usually it doesn't. It can have cheese, and depending on how much cheese, it can be pretty rich, but the creaminess should just be coming from the rice itself. So what we're doing is adding the broth by half a cup each time. I'm just stirring it until all of that is absorbed. And you'll know it's absorbed when the rice starts to stick again. But you have to be patient, you don't want to rush it. The whole process should take about 20 to 25 minutes. And for the 1 3/4 cups of rice, we're probably going to be using 6 cups of the chicken broth. Now for a little extra flavor, we're going to add some dry sherry, which always goes well with mushrooms. I like to cook my mushrooms in sherry too. The texture looks perfect right now, but you can't go by just the look, so you have to taste it. And what you want to be able to do is bite into the rice and have it be like al dente pasta. You don't want to get any of the dry green, meaning that the center isn't cooked. There, I think we have it. I'm going to turn the heat down to low. We're going to add our cheese. This is a 1/2 cup. You want to use an Italian hard cheese. Most people use Parmesan, but you can use like a Pecorino or Romano. You just want to stir it till it evenly melts. It's all incorporated in there. I'm going to add some fresh pepper. Finally, I'm going to add some chives that I cut from my garden. And there you have it. It kind of looks like a gloopy mess, but believe me, this is an Italian delicacy that is really going to impress your guests. I hope you enjoy it.